welcome to TalkFCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. A massive news roundup coming up for you today because it's surrounding two massive players, Antoine Griezmann, Neymar Jr. Once again, we're here today, we're discussing them with regards to Barcelona, but not only individually, also collectively, because now it's raising the question, can we sign Griezmann? Can we sign Neymar? Is there even a possibility this summer that we could sign both? Yep, it's the transfer window, it's Barcelona, and you can guarantee it's absolutely mental. It's all coming up, guys. Stay right there. Let's do this. And I want to start first and foremost by giving you an update, a very recent update, in fact, on Antoine Griezmann and his future with regard to that move, or potential move, to Barcelona. Because we've heard several murmurings over the last few weeks, really, with regards to the official statement. When's it going to come? Is it going to come regarding Griezmann? The most official thing that we've heard, of course, came from the Atletico Madrid CEO himself, Neymar, when he said, I know where Griezmann will play next season. I've known since March it's going to be in Barcelona. And after that statement, you kind of expected, like, maybe Barcelona would come out, maybe they'd say something, maybe there'll be a few hints in the media that it was going to take place, but still, there's nothing. Still, there remains to be silence in Barcelona surrounding Antoine Griezmann and his future. In the media, there's no real murmurings, there's no real rumours, and even Bartomeu this morning, he came out, he was interviewed by Rat1 themselves, and he said the following words. He was asked about Griezmann directly, is Griezmann going to sign? What's the situation with Antoine Griezmann? And he replied with the following. He said, Griezmann, we have not talked to him. There is nothing at all to say about Antoine Griezmann. We have June, we have July, we have August to go ahead and think about transfers. There will be both departures and arrivals this summer, but we will see how the market evolves in these days and weeks to come. There's nothing on Griezmann. So Bartomeu there, silent himself. And I'm just thinking right now, the way that I see this, I've said it all along, I just feel like we're waiting, a waiting game until July, because we all know that in July, Antoine Griezmann's release clause drops to 120 million euros. As of right now, if we wanted to sign him, it would be a bigger amount, it would be much, much larger than that, and we'd have to go through Atletico to try and get that down. With that release clause, once July hits, we don't have to go through Atletico, we don't have to discuss with them. All we have to do, if we want Griezmann, we pay the entire clause. And I just think that's Bartomeu right there, just protecting himself mainly, protecting the club as well, and saying, look, we haven't really spoken with Griezmann, nothing has been agreed, because Barcelona here don't want to be seen to be doing anything they shouldn't be. Because as you know, in football, you shouldn't really go to the player, you shouldn't really have an agreement with the player before you've had the permission and you've spoken first with the club in question. But of course, in July, with that release clause, we can go straight there, pay that money, and Antoine Griezmann could, in July, be a Barcelona player. However, as we move on now to Neymar Jr., I just want to make it absolutely clear right now that even though with Griezmann things seem as though it's completely done, things seem as though it's going to be a very simple operation, if we want him, pay that clause, 120 million euros, and then he's ours. The agreement behind the scenes with the player seems to be all done. What I want to say is, that's not irreversible. It's not something that's set in stone, that cannot be sort of gone back on, because as you remember, last summer, Griezmann, of course, was sort of playing the two clubs, playing us off against each other, and in the end, he rejected Barcelona and stayed with Atletico. Don't think that this summer, if something better came up, if Barcelona wanted to go down a new route, that agreement there couldn't be broken to actually not sign Griezmann. So even though things seem like it's done, and I do still believe that we will sign Griezmann this summer, that's my feeling within, but as of right now, when we go on to Neymar, it's not done. So technically, we do, as it stands, still have that 120 million euros and more to spend on a player if we see it as a more of a fit than Antoine Griezmann would be, and then I go on to Neymar himself. Because last night, as we know, I did a video on it as it happened, L'Équipe came out, usually a reliable source in the French media, they came out and said PSG this summer, for the first time, are willing to sell Neymar Jr. The door is open. If he really wants to leave, PSG are not going to hold him back, because PSG, Nasser Al-Khelaifi, they seem to be changing their style. He came out yesterday as well. He said, I don't want a celebrity mentality at this club. I don't want to see players behaving like celebrities. They're here to work hard. They're here to be footballers, and things are going to change. And that seemed to me like maybe the door was opening to somebody like Neymar, somebody like Mbappe. And even after that, Nasser Al-Khelaifi actually came out and said, you know what, 200% Kylian Mbappe will be at PSG next season. He confirmed there that Mbappe wouldn't be leaving, but on Neymar, there was nothing. What I do want to say on this though is, L'Équipe did come out with quite a very extensive article really on the future of Neymar, and they did say there that PSG would not be willing to sell Neymar for less than 220 22 million euros, which of course is the fee there, the release clause that back in 2017 they did pay for Neymar coming from Barcelona. So quite clearly the PSG want an astronomical offer in order to sell Neymar this summer. What I also want to say on that though is, if we were to sign Neymar, we wouldn't be paying that cash. We wouldn't be paying 222 million euros. As you all know, we're looking to offload some players. We would certainly be putting a player forward, maybe even two players in some instances, to try and bring that fee down and try and negotiate it there. We've all heard about the links with Felipe Coutinho maybe going to PSG. We've all heard in the Spanish press even about Ousmane Dembele being on his way to PSG as part of that deal, and even L'Équipe there go on to say the discussions between PSG and Barcelona have been made, very, very initial talks have been made this summer, and the possibility of including a player in that deal has also been partially discussed. So things have been spoken about, and all I want to do here is go back to Marcelo Bielsa, who is the man who originally brought the PSG Neymar story back in 2017, and he said a few weeks ago now, it is a very difficult deal, it's very complicated, it's extremely, extremely delicate, the relationship between PSG and Barcelona, but he said, you know what, things can happen. Even though it may seem impossible, it's not technically impossible. If both sides wanted a deal to work, if the player himself wanted to leave, maybe this summer we could see something miraculous happen. What I also want to do though is bring you an article from France once again, another source similar to L'Équipe, it's RMC in the French media, and they say something completely different. They say here that Neymar has indeed thought about leaving PSG, but the newly appointed sporting director who's recently come in again at PSG, Leonardo, he said that he has no intention of letting Neymar leave this summer. He's key to the project and they do not want to let Neymar leave. And they say also there that Neymar himself will not seek a move this summer. And that's real contrary to what we've heard in the Spanish media over the last few weeks and also from L'Équipe, because it seems like Neymar to me does actually want to go. I believe deep down that Neymar does want to return. Do I believe that it can happen? I also agree that it would be very, very difficult, almost impossible, simply because of the financial side and also because of that relationship between PSG and Barcelona. I think if PSG were to sell him, they'd rather sell him to somewhere like Real Madrid than Barcelona. It would be difficult to work out a deal that would work for both clubs, given how strained things are between the two parties. But of course, in football, incredible things happen. Every single day, unexpected events happen in the footballing world, and I would never rule anything out. Never say never. Neymar could still be on the cards. And so that then brings me on to my point here about Neymar and Griezmann, not as individuals, but as a collective. Both of them this summer joining Barcelona. Because obviously when you hear the Neymar rumours, when you hear the rumours linking us with Antoine Griezmann, you're thinking there, could this actually happen? You've got Griezmann there playing the striker's role. You've got Messi maybe from the right-hand side, Neymar from the left. Suddenly, MSN has been reunited, has been reignited into Griezmann, Messi, Neymar. Could it happen? That's the big, big question here. And I know a lot of people would love to see that. And let's be honest, on the face of it, without any strings attached, without any financial input, that strike force there is nothing short of sensational. It would be exciting, and that at the end of the day is why we watch football. But realistically, I would say there, it's nigh on impossible. Like I say, never rule anything out. But at the end of the day, we only have so many finances. We can only afford so much as a club here in Barcelona. Because you look at Neymar, you look at Griezmann, there's massive, massive transfer fees. Also, of course, the signing of Frenkie de Jong. Even if De Ligt doesn't happen, we're still going to be paying 75 million for Frenkie de Jong. And that there is big, big transfer fees that will be going out from Barcelona. And not only that also, but the wages. The wage bill at Barcelona is uncontrollably high right now. And those two would be big, big earners coming in on that wage bill. It would be very, very difficult. What I would say though is we would have to see massive, massive departures. And I'm not talking about rotational players. I'm not talking about one or two players shifted off here to La Liga clubs. I'm talking about massive, massive sales from big players, from big personalities on big money. We'd have to see them leave and we'd have to generate some real transfer funds to be anywhere near making this happen. But let me know your thoughts, guys. I'm very, very keen to know what you think of the situation right now. Do you still believe that Antoine Griezmann is going to be coming to Barcelona? Do you agree that in July maybe we'll see something more official? Because Barcelona right now, you've seen Real Madrid announcing transfer after transfer after transfer. Barcelona, nothing. Nothing at all. It's silence. All they're doing is releasing random bits of news from the internationals, from their YouTube channel. Honestly, guys, Barcelona on the transfer front right now have been so silent. Surely soon that has to change. But will it be with Antoine Griezmann or could it be with Neymar Jr? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. The transfer window always continues to amaze me, because just when you think you've heard it all, just when you think nothing more crazy could happen, suddenly now, once again, out of nowhere, we're discussing Neymar Jr. being linked with a return to the club that he left, that he turned his back on in 2017, and suddenly we've come full circle again. Oh man, this game, it never ceases to amaze me. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. I really look forward to reading those and seeing what you have to say on these two subjects. I'll see you soon, of course, with more updates, because you can guarantee they will be coming, no doubt about it. I'll see you soon, guys, but until next time, as always, Vasca el Barça.